In this moment, I have left a relationship. I am living in a new home, starting down a new career path, and I am really starting from scratch financially. It is all new and fresh and exciting. I do not want to make this a long, drawn out video. I just kind of want to share how I am feeling as someone who is 32 years old and is really starting life completely from scratch, starting all over again on pretty much all aspects or in all aspects of my life. If you are someone who is also starting life from scratch or even just starting certain aspects of your life over again, maybe parts of this video will resonate with you. We shall see. But here's the deal. And let me give you a little bit of context. Like I said, I'm 32 years old. And back in 2017, I quit my 9-to-5 job and I moved to Australia. I had the intention to only live there for maybe 6 months and just kind of reset, come back home and start all over again with like my corporate job and kind of going in that direction. And I did not. That is not the direction that life took me. I lived in Australia for 2 years. I ended up mostly living and working at a yoga retreat center and also doing some traveling. I lived in Costa Rica for a little while, did a little bit more traveling around, and then found myself in 2022 living and working at an ayahuasca retreat in Peru. So yeah, the last 6 years for me have been not your average lifestyle, I guess. It's been pretty all over the place, living in really unique circumstances. I lived in a tent for 6 months. I have lived in a lot of community spaces, and a lot of what I've done has also been volunteer work or exchange for food and accommodation. That was the case for the yoga retreat. That was mostly the case at the ayahuasca retreat with like a small pay every month. But yeah, 32 years old, haven't made much money for the past 6 years. Not much saving for retirement. I'm giving you this background story because I kind of want to talk about how it feels being 32 years old and really starting fresh with everything. So a year ago, I moved from Peru back to the United States because of a relationship, and I lived on the West Coast for the past year. However, in this moment, I have left a relationship, or my relationship has ended, I should say. I am living in a new home. I am starting down a new career path, and I am really starting from scratch financially. It is all new and fresh and exciting. So how does that feel? I'm excited. I'm honestly excited. The biggest reason that I want to share this message is because I really want anyone who is in similar circumstances to allow yourself to also be excited and view this as an opportunity rather than something scary or something that causes doubt or insecurity or even judgment, like self-judgment. It's so easy to be a certain age and to feel like you are supposed to have checked all these boxes or achieved certain things. And then if you are that age and you haven't, and you're starting fresh or moving in with your parents or moving in with friends or starting a new job, starting fresh with dating or entering into new relationships, so much judgment can be placed upon ourselves or fear of judgment from others. But if you can let that go, life will be so much easier, and it will be easier to view this as a really beautiful fresh start and new opportunity where anything is possible, because it is, rather than something to be afraid of or to doubt. I remember when I was moving to Australia. So at the time I was 26 years old. I had quit this, full-time kind of 9-to-5 job, and I was getting ready to move to Australia, and I sat down at a bar. I'm sitting at this bar with my friend, and she's the same age as me. And she looks at me and she says, "You can't do this. You cannot quit your job and move to Australia. And I was like, what? Why? What do you mean? And she says to me, you're throwing everything away. And this is the age where you need to be building up your career and locking down a husband, locking down a relationship, saving for retirement, and just setting yourself up for having a structured life moving forward. I remember at the time, like I said, being 26, just being like, oh shit, that does not sound like what I'm ready for. That's not what I want. And it was just so fascinating to me that she, at that age, had so much fear already about needing to kind of lock things down, because making that decision was the best decision I have ever made. Like, hands down, in my entire life. The past 6 years have been some of the most incredible experiences. Just absolutely incredible opportunities and lessons and growth, and the connections that I've made have been so beautiful. The people that I've met, the life that I've lived that I wouldn't have lived if I had stayed at that 9 to 5 and kept rocking towards, saving money for retirement and all these different things. So yeah, I was so interested. I found it so fascinating that that was already her mindset at 26, because here I am at 32 and I still don't feel that way. I don't think that there's any one set timeline that people have to adhere to, that we have to stick to, and there's no one right path. Everyone is on their own timeline. There is no one right way to show up in life, an age to be in a relationship or get married or have kids or secure a job. And when I worked at the ayahuasca retreat that I worked at, people would come in of all different ages and different career paths, different levels of success, financial means. And I cannot tell you how many people came to this ayahuasca retreat who checked all the boxes. Like I said, they're just super successful from the outside looking in, make tons of money, have a secure, set family. And they were so unhappy. And it didn't matter that they had everything that we say that you should have by a certain age. They were at that ayahuasca retreat because something was missing in their life and they didn't know what it was. And they had this really deep gap, this space that was not filled. And they were searching to really understand what that was that they were missing. And I'm so blessed. I'm so privileged and lucky to not feel that way, because regardless of the fact that I am entering this new phase of my life with like no money and, not necessarily a lot of security or even guarantees of how things are going moving forward, there's no doubt in my mind that I have lived such a beautiful life and met so many incredible people. I have no regrets, not a single one. And I'm not afraid of starting over, because life has shown me over and over and over again that it always works out. And that if you put your faith and your trust in life, that it will show up for you. And you have to show up for yourself too. That's the most important thing. You have to trust and believe in and show up for yourself. And then life comes in and handles the rest. So do not be afraid of starting over. Do not be afraid of ending a relationship if you need to end a relationship. It's so incredible to me how many people I know who are my age, like in their 30s, and they're afraid to have to date again or like end one relationship and, oh my God, I have to get back into the dating pool and like I have to do it all over again. I'm past my prime. What? Really, every day is life starting fresh. We never know what's going to happen. We never know what direction life is going to take. A relationship could end, a career could end. Things happen that are unexpected. And to believe otherwise is really a fantasy. It's an illusion. So when you are in an opportunity where you have the power to choose the direction that you are going to move forward, really be grateful for that. There's so much power in that space, and there's so much power in that opportunity. You have limitless options ahead of you. You can do anything, you are capable of anything. And yeah, this opportunity to start from scratch and build the life that you want, build the life that is actually meant for you, is such a privilege. Not everyone has that opportunity. Not everyone wakes up the next day with the chance to move forward in the direction that they desire. So really, you are blessed to be taking the breath that you are taking right now. Do not take that for granted. Do I have moments where that self-doubt arises, where I am scared? Yeah. Yes, I'm human, of course. Sometimes I'm not even thinking about it. Like, I could be doing something totally different, and all of a sudden this thought just pops into my mind, this fear-based thought about life moving forward or what's going to happen. But that's not the thought that I choose to hold on to. I view it and I acknowledge it and I let it pass and continue to move forward in the faith and in the trust and in the knowing that things are working out exactly as they are meant to. So just to give you a little bit of an idea of where I see my life going, what are my goals, how do I want to step into this next phase of my life, let's talk about that for a minute. First of all, let's talk about relationships. That's not really my priority. Again, I know that being 32, a lot of people feel really rushed. I do not. I've never really been someone who's felt super pressured or rushed to be in a relationship by a certain age or in order to have kids. Like, I really trust the timing of that. I enjoy my time alone. Of course, I love being with a partner and spending my time with that person, and love is amazing. We all love love, but I also love being with myself, and I really cherish and value the time when I am alone to focus on myself, to learn about myself, to maybe have more time to put towards creativity or my career or these different things that, when in a partnership, I might not have quite as much time for, because I need to prioritize that relationship, which is beautiful. It's just a balancing act, right? But I really value that in this stage of my life, at this moment, I'm alone and I can work on building my career, building my finances, like work on YouTube and just continue to get to know myself and who I am so that I can be the best person and show up in the best possible way for my next relationship. So I really invite you to, if that resonates, to look at that in the same way. Like, if you have recently ended a relationship, or if you feel like you should be in a relationship, allow yourself to nurture and appreciate this time with yourself, because it's really, really valuable. And at the end of the day, you are the only person that will be with you for your entire life. To know yourself and to love yourself is the most powerful thing that you can experience in this life. So take that opportunity when you can. It's just really special. So that's my view. When it's time for the next relationship, amazing, but I don't feel rushed or pressured. And so that's not really top of mind for me. In terms of moving, here I am. I don't know if you can hear the chickens and the goats and the ducks and the, what else? Dogs and cats and birds. Live on a lovely little plot of land with 16 animals. I am staying at my friend's house right now. So I have not moved back in with my parents. If you're seeing this, I love you so much, but I'm so happy that that is not the case. I'm so blessed and lucky that she has allowed me to move into her home in this kind of weird in-between space that I'm in, because not everyone is that lucky. And I recognize my privilege in that, and it allows me to not have so much stress around like paying rent for a home right now, because I am financially in a situation where I'm starting over. And I just want to address this because I also know that a lot of people feel a lot of judgment or stress or criticism if they have to move back in with someone, like move back in with their parents or move in with a friend, and they don't have their own home by a certain age. Can we just can we just drop the self-judgment? Like, can we please just let go of the criticism and feeling like we have to be perfect? If you have the opportunity to start fresh, but like live with your parents or live with a friend and not pay rent, do you know how many people would probably love to have that option? Take advantage of it, save your money, or at least allow yourself to start building up your financial resources. And then when the time is right, move into your own place, whatever it is, buy your home, get your apartment, but don't judge yourself for needing a little bit of help when you need help. Allow yourself to receive, allow yourself to be supported. That's such an important thing to be able to receive in life in general is support. And so often we don't want to take it because we feel like we're not good enough for some reason. Yeah, it's just not true. So allow yourself to receive, let go of the judgment. Do I want to live in my own home? Do I want to have my own space eventually? For the love of God, yes. But I will be very grateful and am enjoying this time living with friends and, being surrounded by people. Life always has its phases, and the best thing that we can do is appreciate the ones that we are in while we are in them, because what is guaranteed is that they are going to change. The only thing permanent about life is that it will change. So appreciate what you have and the circumstances that you're in while you can. Let's talk about finances. It'll take all of about 2 seconds. I'm broke. Okay, I'm just kidding. Not really though. Back in my 9-to-5 job, I was making a very standard salary, shall we say. But since I moved to Australia, I did what's called a workaway program, which is working in exchange for food and accommodation. And I did end up working full time in this yoga retreat, but I was literally getting the equivalent of $200, I think, per week. So it wasn't a lot. It wasn't very much. And in the time that I was in Australia, because I did also travel a bit, I pretty much spent that money. So to be raw and transparent and real with you guys, I left Australia with not much in my bank account. I came back. I was here with all of you during lockdown. Thankfully, I was lucky enough to have learned some different skills of copywriting and marketing and things like that. So I was able during lockdown to save up some money because I was just doing freelance work. But then as soon as lockdown lifted, I started traveling again. And then made my way, like I said, to Peru. And my time in Peru, my year at this ayahuasca retreat, I worked for the first 3 months in exchange for food and accommodation. And then in the 9 months after that, I think I made about $800 per month. So I really was starting pretty fresh. And again, we're just keeping this video super real and honest. I hadn't really been saving for retirement for the past 6 years. When you're working in another country at a yoga retreat or an ayahuasca retreat, that's not a situation where you're adding to your 401k. Starting fresh in that world as well, which I would say of all of the things, that is the one that feels the scariest for sure. I think it's hard. It's hard to not feel fear when it comes to money. That is so ingrained in our systems. It is ingrained in our cellular memory. If you have parents or grandparents that experienced any kind of fear around money, that is passed down in our bodies to the next generation. And money is something that is talked about oftentimes from a space of scarcity and fear. So I would be lying if I didn't say that doesn't come up for me. But I also, like I said, I have a lot of trust. I have a lot of faith. And the universe has always shown up for me whenever I've gotten to a point where I needed it to. So we'll just see what happens in that world. But I trust. I always trust. And that kind of leads into the next conversation, which is career. And where am I going? How am I moving forward with that? This past year, when I was in Washington State, I started my YouTube channel. And it has been a slow growing little baby, but it has been just incredible in the sense that I've learned so much from it. I've actually started a second YouTube channel as well recently, and that has been so much fun. That's been more so focused on ASMR and Reiki, which is a form of energy healing. This is the direction that I want to go in for two reasons. I love the idea of working with people one-on-one. As a Reiki practitioner, I believe very strongly in energy healing. It has significantly changed my life. If you want me to talk about that in a different video, I would love to, but energy healing and Reiki has done a lot to heal anxiety, to release a lot of built up fear that I had in my mind and in my body, to heal my relationship with my body. And I've kind of seen it like work magic, to be totally honest. I mean, many things in my life in the past couple years have really just proved to me that there is magic in this world. But yeah, Reiki has been so incredible. And so I love the idea of working one-on-one, of offering distance healings to people with Reiki, and also having this ASMR and Reiki channel where I share these videos. So that is definitely a direction that I would like to continue to grow and evolve. And then YouTube in general with these two channels. I'm just excited to continue to grow community, to continue to see how it evolves. You know, I really believe that when it comes to something like YouTube, the only reason that you fail is if you quit. I do not plan on quitting. I plan on continuing to go with this channel, with this other channel. I don't know what direction it's going to take. I really want it to always feel real and authentic. That is what is most important to me. I have so many things that I'm passionate about. I love health and fitness and energy healing and like all of these holistic modalities for healing ourselves and stepping into our own power and really like taking control of our lives from a place of self-love and empowerment. That is exciting to me. And I believe that anything is possible. I believe that we create our own lives, our own realities with the power of our mind, with the power of our thoughts, with the power of our energy. And so I really want to inspire others to do the same, to show up for themselves and live the life that they desire. So that's really my goal with this YouTube channel. And yeah, I don't know what direction it's going to go in. I just want to keep showing up for you. It's scary because, you know, showing up in this kind of space is really vulnerable. And I'm not making any money with it right now. I think I've been on YouTube for a year now with this channel, and I've made like $400 in the past year. And this new Reiki channel that I started, it's only been a month. I think I've made like $18. It's pretty solid, let me tell you. But it doesn't stop me. It will not stop me. And I hope it won't stop you either. Like whatever it is that is your dream, whatever it is that you want to do not let fear hold you back. I think that's like really the main message of this entire video. Wherever you are in life, I don't care if one thing is starting over, if everything is starting over, if you are like building life from a completely new space, do not let fear stop you, because at the end of the day, you have the power to do so much, to create so much in your life. And if you have faith in yourself and you show up, the universe will meet you halfway, and it will give you what you need, the resources, the people, the connections. It will show up for you if you show up for yourself. So get excited. Don't let fear stop you. Drop the judgment, drop the doubt, all these things that get in the way, and just allow it to be fun. Life is not meant to be taken so seriously. That is something that I've learned and fully believe with all my heart. We should be laughing more. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be easy. This idea that life has to be hard is total BS. I don't believe it. Don't believe it. It's not true. That is a belief system, and it's time to let that go. This video has been longer than I expected, and I have rambled and talked, so I apologize. I hope that something in this video spoke to you in some way. If it did, like this video, please, please, please subscribe, because I would love to be able to connect with you more in future videos. And thank you. Just thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. I'm so grateful for you. And until next time, I will see you in the next video.